Everyone, Sandy Grove, registered nurse, back with Health Tracks at Home. Again, I'm going to talk with you about being your own health advocate during COVID-19. Today, we're going to do Masks 101. I'm sure you think you know everything about using a facial covering, but myself, even researching this, I learned a lot of little tips, and it is time for us to start talking about when do we throw away cloth masks, how do we clean them effectively, and really how do we wear them, and what are the best types of masks to use? What kind of materials are the best? I know people have asked me that as well. So we've been doing really well here in the city and county of San Diego. We got off the California state watch list. We're the only blue state in California. I appreciate all the people that are watching this video that have been doing all the right things and have been listening to our California Public Health Department. But as we all know, COVID is not going anywhere. And in fact, we are going into seasonal flu season very shortly, which is going to increase our risks for contracting COVID. Also, we have all the wildfires going on, which affect our lungs, which can increase our risk for getting any kind of virus. So we want to continue to stay up with what's new. As always, I use reliable sources to provide the information that I give to you, but what is true today is not true tomorrow. So by the time that you're watching this video, things may have changed, things may be new. But if you ever have any questions about the things that I offer in my videos, please make sure you go to your primary healthcare source, which is your primary physician, and clarify or ask them questions about what we've talked about, just to make sure you got it right. So I'm going to talk about the CDC guidelines for facial coverings, because they're the gurus that are kind of giving advice to all of the healthcare systems around the world, or around the United States, not the world. Who does the world? So CDC says how to safely wear and take off a mask. And the first thing it says is wear your mask correctly. I love that. So I'm washing your hands before you touch your mask. That's the first thing. How many of you do that? I have to admit, as a nurse, I don't even do that. I wash my hands before I leave the house, and then I'm putting my mask on when I'm ready to use it. So wash your hands before you put your clean mask on your face. Put it over your nose, your mouth, and your chin, and try to get it as snug as possible to your face. Make sure you can breathe easily, and I'm going to show this to you in a minute, and do not put it on children under the age of 2. Okay, so we go over, under, take the 2 sides, over our ears, pinch the nose, make sure we have enough room, make sure it's nice and tight, and there you go. There is the cloth. Here is the paper. Over the nose, and everybody does this a little bit different. Pull it over your chin, get it down, get it tight, squeeze it across your nose, and there you go. That's putting it on. And as you see, we're stuck in our hair, and I'm going to leave that on the video because that happens all the time when you're wearing glasses. So I'd advise you take your glasses off if you can before you put your mask on. It's pretty funny. So use the facial covering to help protect others. We all know this. Keep the mask on your face until you're done being with the public. I've seen people at the supermarket, the minute they hit their car and they're putting the stuff in the trunk, they take off their mask, but there may be somebody walking by. So you want to keep it on until you're actually contained. Don't put the mask around your neck or up on your forehead. And let's face it, we've all done that. Remember, the mask is contaminated. It's doing its job. It's collecting the virus. We don't want to put it down here so that we can accidentally contaminate those areas we're trying to keep clean, our eyes, our nose, our mouth. We're putting it up here. Think about it. These things can contaminate, and we're all doing it. We see the public health officers doing it as well. So just as a reminder not to do that. And if you touch the mask, wash your hands. Remember, dirty. It's doing its job. It's collecting. Follow those everyday health habits that we repeat every time we're talking about COVID. Stay at least 6 feet away from others. Avoid contact with people that are sick. Wash your hands often for 20 seconds. Soap and water, rub, 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 scrub, 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 friction, or with the waterless hand gel. Take off your facial covering carefully when you're home. They recommend you wait until you're home, but so many of us, unfortunately, take it off in the car. So you've got your mask on, and as you saw, so I will reiterate, as you saw, you've got your mask on, and this is dirty. you're going to grab your elastic things, turn it inside out so the dirty is on the inside, and then you're going to wash your hands. You're going to put this into a baggie, or you're going to put it in directly into your wash, whichever you can do, but you need to keep it contained. And if you remember to handle by the ear strip, sorry, I got a little sidetracked, and fold the outside corners in together like I showed you, and place it, like I said, into a baggie until you can wash it, or something until you can wash it, or directly into your washing machine. And how do we wash? That sends us right into how do we wash our cloth masks per the CDC. Washing machine. We've known for years that we use, if we put on high heat in our washing machine and dryer, that it kills bacteria. We also know that it kills this virus. So include your mask in your regular laundry. Use your regular laundry detergent on the highest setting for the type of material that this is, so you don't kill it. And see, the nose always itches after having the mask on. That's just par for the course, right? And then use your warmest setting in the dryer. And unfortunately for washing by hand, they recommend that you use a bleach solution. Most of us do not like to use bleach, but they say I wanted to give you the right information and the right kind of bleach to use, because they are not all effective that are out there. So they say either 5 tablespoons or a 1/3 cup for a gallon. Most people aren't going to do that unless you make one and set it aside for use on a daily basis, or 4 teaspoons with a quart at room temperature water. Remember to use room temperature water when you're making the bleach solution. Check the label to see if your bleach is intended for disinfectant. All bleaches are not the same. Color fast bleaches that are going to protect the colors in this will not work for disinfecting. You want to make sure you know what kind of bleach that you have and that it's going to be effective if you're actually going to use that. So then you soak the mask in the solution for 5 minutes, and then rinse thoroughly with cool or room temperature water. Make sure to completely dry your mask, so either put it in the dryer and completely dry it, or lay it out on a flat surface and dry it. And they say preferably in the sun, which is going to kill everything. So when in doubt, put it out in the sun. So but like I said, if you can do it, washing machine, I would recommend, this was one of the recommendations, that you have some kind of a bag to put your masks in until you can actually wash them. I usually do mine one at a time. It goes right into the washing machine when I come home. Then I wash my hands before I even go into the house. But if you're going to do quite a few at a time, you should have some kind of designated bag to put those in so that you're not cross-contaminating yourself until you can actually wash it. So then there's some extra tips from our healthcare providers in our county, which we like to listen to. Kaiser Permanente says, watch out for your cell phone. So keep your cell phone away from your mask. If you're actually going to talk to somebody with the mask on, you want to keep the phone away from your face and away from your mask. And if you take your mask off, unfortunately, we're going to be taking it off incorrectly, and you're at risk for contaminating yourself. So the suggestion is do not remove your mask and use speakerphone if you have to take a phone call. But remember, if you touch your mask, your cell phone's dirty, your hand is dirty. Make sure you wash your hands. UC San Diego says wearing is caring. I like that one. Remember to keep your nose, your mouth, and your chin inside your mask. And if your mask does not fit you well, or if you're having problems with your glasses steaming up, you can twist the little elastic bands, and they will help the mask to be tighter to your face. You can bring it up underneath your glasses, put the glasses over the top of it, and you have a tighter fit, and the glasses do not get steamed up. So that's just a little suggestion from UC San Diego. Remember, they also say do not put your mask on your forehead or under your chin because it's contaminated, and therefore your mouth, your nose, your eyes are going to be contaminated as well. Sharp Healthcare, I like to use them. They're my healthcare provider. They got lots of good things to say, as we talked about last week. And they said that masks can be made of cotton, silk, and linen with at least 2 layers of densely woven fabric. So they're basically saying you can use just about anything. Quilting cotton is the best, however. They are quoting a recent study, which I'm going to talk about, that seems to trap the largest droplets, which is what we want. So if you're lucky enough to have quilting fabric, cotton to use, that's the best that they say to use. So a recent study, which is on the Sharp Health website under their mask section, it says recent study, and all this information is on each of these healthcare systems websites, Kaiser Permanente, UC San Diego Health, and sharp.com, sharphealth.com. You can find this information. So the recent study was saying that the two-layered quilting cotton provided the most protection for droplets to collect. So, but what they found out was that in a study done in Arizona, without a mask, they're saying that the droplets can go up to 8 feet. So if for some reason you cannot wear a mask and you have to be out in public, I would increase your social distancing to at least 8 feet as far as you can possibly be. But remember that that is how far you might contaminate someone if you're not wearing a mask. But they're saying these things. A bandana, two-sided, that the droplets still traveled 3 feet 7 inches with the bandana on. With folded cotton handkerchiefs, they traveled 1 foot 3 inches away from the mouth. With the stitched quilting cotton mask, they traveled 2.5 inches, not very far. And with the cone style mask that people use, like for dust, etc., the plain ones, droplets traveled about 8 inches. So they were saying these aren't as effective as some of the other ones to keep the droplets nearby. But as we know, if we use the mask with social distancing, perfect combination, and it's going to make sure those droplets don't get to somebody else. Scripps Health is basically reminding us, wash your hands before you put the mask on, wash your hands when you take your mask off. So then the CDC has not given us guidance, but the California Department of Public Health has given us guidance for what to do when it's time to dispose of the mask. So I wanted to go over that and how often should you wash, etc. So they said it's a good idea for you to wash your facial covering frequently, ideally after each use, but at least once a day. I don't think any of us were doing that at the beginning, and I hope all of you are realizing that it is a one-time use mask. It is meant to go away and get washed after you're done for the day because it is very dirty. Have a bag or a bin, like I said before, to keep those facial coverings in until you're ready to wash them to protect you from any cross-contamination. As we know, the virus can live on surfaces for a while. And if you have to rewear a cloth mask, you've turned it inside out, and you have to rewear this. You've put it in a baggie, and you've protected it because you don't have any choice. Make sure you do not touch the inside part, which is the contaminated part. Grab the little ear things and go this way as much as possible. And then once you touch it to adjust it to your face, make sure you wash your hands again. And anytime you're near your face, you want to wash your hands. And then discarding the facial coverings. If they no longer cover your face, if we're washing these all the time, they could shrink. So if they no longer can cover this far, you want to discard them and get some new ones. Or if they've stretched out, or if the bands are damaged and they're not staying on, or they don't stay on your face. We have problems with the cooling masks that kids are wearing that go around their necks and it comes up over here. Sometimes they lose their elasticity and they slide down, especially in this hot weather. And also if there's holes or tears in your mask. The thing that does happen if you have made homemade masks is the little metal piece that is put across the nose moves. Well, the problem with that is that increases the risk for a poke through. If there's poke through, you need to get rid of your masks. So just remember that. Look for holes every time you wash. So I hope this information has been helpful, and I hope it has given you what you needed to hear for today. It's a little long, but I wanted to make sure that you received all this information. And again, like I said, as always, the information provided is from reliable sources, but information from today can change tomorrow. So check with your physician if you have any clarification needs. They are your primary source for information in this time. So until next time, remember your action saves lives. Keep your community healthy by staying in place, except for essential needs, washing your hands, keeping your distance, no social gatherings. And my favorite thing that I'm going to say again about masks is please wear a mask for the following 3 reasons. And thank you for whoever wrote this. Couldn't find who the author was. 1, humility. We don't know if we have COVID. It is clear that people can spread the disease before they have symptoms. 2, kindness. We don't know if the person that we're near has a child battling cancer or cares for an elderly mom or is at risk themselves. We might be fine, but they might not be. 3, community. We want our community to thrive, businesses to stay open, kids to go back to school, employees to stay healthy. Keeping a lid on COVID helps that happen. And I just ask that you take care, stay safe, and may God bless you.